let's try to get back in the swing of things. Going to work this morning, running a bit late, and unusual for us. The storm is out in the morning, and there's thunder going on around in the area. Having problems with this smart case. When I put it on at night, it starts charging because it's plugged into the. So you plug into the case plugs into the phone. The phone gets fully charged, but when I get up in the morning, the case is nearly run down, and that's happened now 3 or 4 days in a row. I'm not sure if that's a defect in the case or something else. Anyway, I'll have to try to experiment with it this weekend.
I know this is horrible backlighting, which is, basically a no-no, but the reason I'm doing it is because of this. I thought maybe I should kind of set up a permanent spot here and just shoot some of these here so that we can see the progress that they're making on the wall, which is nothing since the day they finished the bricks. Got to get on with the nasty grams today to the construction company and say, why didn't I hear from anybody this week? Woke up with an incredible headache. And when I say an incredible headache, I mean not good kind. The not good kind. I think I slept wrong on my face or turned or something and just torqued my jaw because the pain was radiating out here from the point where the jaw connects. And it hurt so bad that I couldn't open my eyes. I mean, I could open my eyes, but it hurt to use the muscles to keep the eyes open. It was less pain. I spent 10 minutes just sitting on the edge of the bed when I woke up this morning. It was awful. That was before I could get up and stagger my way in and get painkiller for it. Either it's gone away or the painkiller is masking it, but it's finally gone. I'm home today. It's Friday. James is... you can hear him doing garbage pickup outside. That's convenient timing. James was really sick when I picked him up from school yesterday. I got a note halfway through the day from Juan saying that James was not feeling well and they might send him home, but they didn't. But then she contacted me, well, just short of time to pick him up, and she said, oh, he looks like death warmed over. And he really did. I mean, he just looked terrible. And she got him out to the car and put him in the car and drove back to the house, and not once did he ask to take my phone and play Pokemon for me on the way. So he was sick. Anyway, he had a fever of 102.7, which is not dangerous per se unless it sustains and it won't go down. And I gave him some acetaminophen, and it went down and he went to sleep. And that was kind of it yesterday. Because he had such a high fever, I couldn't put him in school today. He feels better, but he's obviously still sick. But he hasn't got a fever anymore, and he hasn't got a sore throat. But it's here in the head now, a bit in the ears. So he's in sleeping at the moment. So that's good. So I'm here at the house doing stuff. I'm going to try an experiment here. I'm on the phone for the last 45 minutes to AppleCare, and I'm on hold. And the young lady keeps coming back and apologizing because they're trying to do some paperwork that's causing problems. And I just wanted to say, Hello? Take two! So, what happened was I'd been on the call with AppleCare for about 45 minutes, and as soon as I started recording, then they finally got the problem resolved. So that was just what it was. I was having So I'm having an interest. I didn't get a chance to show this to you. So here it is. I had two problems. I like the battery case, I really do. But there's just one thing that's kind of weird about it. Now, if I pull this down and go to my Today view, there you can see it. But there is the supply for the phone, the case, my watch, and actually my Bluetooth headset, which is apparently still turned on. If you didn't know you could do that with widgets on an iPhone, you can do that with widgets on an iPhone. Anyway, sometimes the case just disappears from there, and then it doesn't charge the phone, or it runs down and it doesn't charge, or whatever. And the only way I can get it is to pull the top back like this, all right, and slide the phone up like that, just so that it's far enough that it's come out, and then slide her back in. And then you'll note that it actually shows the case and the phone status there. And since I had this, it does it every once in a while. I'll look at the phone, and the phone will be down a lot, and you go, well, it shouldn't be down a lot this earlier in the day, and you'll check, and it's no longer working on the case. You pull it up, put it back in. Case might be fully charged. You just don't know, but it just isn't communicating, and it's a pass-through lightning connector, so you don't need to take this out of the case. It just plug in the lightning and go. It's supposed to be. And the other problem is at night, sometimes at night I plug it in, and it starts charging both like it's supposed to, but when I wake up in the morning, the phone will be fully charged, but the case will only be about like 4 to 15% charged. And I can't even tell whether or not the case is actually running down during the night, or just not, it's nearly nothing and doesn't charge much. Anyway, I assumed it was the case, but I contacted Apple Support and to see what I could do about it. It's only a few weeks old. And as it happened, the only way you can report it is part of a phone problem. So I put my phone serial number in, and it says I don't have AppleCare, which you do because I paid for it. But what happened was that when I broke the screen a while back, they replaced the iPhone, and they did not swap my AppleCare over to the new phone. So I have an appointment Sunday at the Biltmore Apple Store to drop this, take this case in and have them look at it and hopefully replace it. They probably won't have one in stock, but hopefully they'll just replace it and say, oh, there's something wrong with a connector or something on the case. But there's a slight chance that it could be a problem with the phone, and if it were a problem with the phone, then I'd want the phone fixed on AppleCare, and I don't have AppleCare on it, so that's what I was on the phone getting fixed, and they did finally get it straightened out, and hopefully within 24 hours my phone will show that it is properly on AppleCare. But it's quite interesting that 45 minutes, the girl was very apologetic. She would pop in, she was, I'm still trying to get hold of somebody at the contract administration department who can do this problem thing. I'm so sorry about the delays, and she'd go away. So ultimately, they appear to have gotten the thing resolved, and that's what I wanted. But I do want to point out when, I don't want people to think it's like, oh, Apple's wonderful all the time. No, Apple makes mistakes, and I'll give you a perfect example in this call. And Apple pays such attention to detail at times, which is, a stunning thing. Anyway, so here's how it goes. I called into Apple Support. They put me on the phone, they said, nobody's available to talk to you right at the moment. We're going to put you in the queue. So here are your choices. If you'd like to listen to a selection of pop music on hold, press 1. If you'd like to listen to classical music, press 2. If you'd like to listen to easy listening music, press 3. And if you'd like to wait in silence, press 4. To which I said, I love you, Apple, please, 4. And I hit 4, and it went to blissful silence on hold. And then about 45 seconds later, it transferred me to another number. That one was automated, sort of like a voice came on, said, something, and then it rang, and then I went to another hold, which had loud, obnoxious pop music. So good, the choice for silence, bad, it didn't work right. So see, even Apple screws up sometimes. And they didn't transfer my warranty when they replaced my phone, which is two strikes, Apple, 2. And I never get a discount for my business account either. So I didn't even know they did discounts. They probably only do it in Australia. And then barely.
What's with the light?
came over to the Mesa side of town to try another place that has shallow bow. It was, yeah. But on our way back, we passed a place called the Lotus Market, which oddly enough I assumed was an Asian market, and indeed it is Asian, just not the Asian I expected. It was an Indian market. Chuan let me buy the cricket stuff. They had a bag and bales and bats and shin pads and elbow guards and gloves. Although the gloves did not look very effective against the fast bowler. And she didn't even entertain the notion. But then she went ahead and bought lychee. How was that fair? Well, was hoping tonight to get out and go to the park, but it's beginning to look like we're gonna get a storm. The wind's beginning to blow through. Oh yeah, over here. It's big garbage collection. We're finally getting rid of some of the crap that's got busted up in the accident and some just other stuff around here. The pile was much bigger. There was some metal stuff in it, and of course scavengers came and took it all. Which I'm not going to take it down to the recycling plant, so let them. Fine. They're packed, but we called ahead.
Windshield.
Quiet. So hopefully we'll get in. I'll try to boost this in post. You probably can't see me very well, but earlier I showed you the garbage. No, we went out to dinner, and there was a bit of a storm. It wasn't bad, and we came back and we drove right past the house, and it wasn't bad. We went to the park and we were there for 90 minutes. And when we came back, there was these bags which are filled with garbage. Some of them had moved, and I thought first that somebody had been rummaging around in it and just left it in our driveway, because I wouldn't say it was light, but they weren't exactly heavy, but Irene felt that they had been blown there by the wind. Adding credence to that was the fact that behind me over here, our garbage cans, one of them had been blown over. That's pretty common because they were just emptied. But I just noticed something else. Over here at the neighbor's house, his tree has actually been blown over. So there must have been a lot more wind here than anywhere where we were. It has been 56 days since they drove into my wall, and I thought I would just give you an update on how this is going. Again, still no indication that I'm going to get screwed by not having this repaired completely, but it is getting rather ridiculously long. So where are we? Well, over here on the wall, as you can see, the brickwork is done, and that's pretty much it. The inside brickwork is not particularly pretty because they're going to have to repair. It's all drywalled in here, so we're going to have to completely redo the drywall all the way back the windows. So they've got to do that. They're going to paint the room. We're still deciding whether or not we're going to be able to get the floor replaced. It's just, it's not right. And then we've got, I can see right now temporarily I've got Taz's kennel here, but back there you can see the electrical outlet, right? And then you should be able to see one over here on this wall, and I'll show you that, but you can't. But I'll show you that outside. So I'm outside. In that 56 days, we had the worst flooding Phoenix has seen in over 100 years. You probably saw that video too. I had water flooding all the way up to the door jambs here, which fortunately are raised in the back and in the back porch. Now, back here I had some furniture, and I had some other stuff. Plus I had some furniture like my seats, my chairs from my office that had been pulled out here because they had taken up all the room in there while doing the construction, and those got ruined. So they're out. It's a big garbage collection this week, so the back patio is now all cleaned up and ready to go, which is nice, but nothing really to do with the accident. That's more to do with the flooding. What does have to do with the accident is that this light doesn't work. This electrical outlet doesn't work. Let's make sure I don't lock myself out. This shed, the power doesn't work, which also powers that security camera. And let's see, down here, now we're on the outside where the damage occurred. This one's not working, power, because of the damage, which also powers that security camera there. So here's on the outside of the house, this is the wall where I showed you that electrical outlet, and this is the one that they put in, but that they were doing wrong the first day, and I had to point out because they were gonna, I don't know what the heck they thought they were gonna do with that pipe. But basically, as you can see, the conduit goes up and around, and then you can see here, probably, this is busted out, and then this conduit comes down like that, and the bricklayers were supposed to have put that into the wall there, so now someone else is going to have to post wall cut that in when the electrical gets done, but once they get that fixed. So basically, oh yeah, and big garbage. I put a ton of big garbage out yesterday and half of it was gone, so we put a bunch more out today and see if people will come along and steal our garbage. So that's it. It's been a pretty annoying ride here. It's amazing what two drunk little children in a car can do and disrupt your life without so much as a "Oh God, I'm really sorry." These things happen, but we keep moving forward. Time for the big adventure. We're going to go to the Apple store. We're going to try to get this case fixed. I did check, and they solved the problem with my AppleCare Plus on my phone, so that's all squared away. While I'm there, I'm going to pick up AppleCare Plus on my iPad Pro. Stopping off for food, and I see they're building something new. I hope it's a tasty and good food place for me to go to lunch at from work. I think I'm going to call it for the weekend and put an end on this episode and spare you any further tedium. I just got back, well, not just got back, but got back a while ago from AppleCare, from the Apple retail location, and got my smart battery case replaced. They just went ahead and replaced the case, and they said if the problem continues, then we'll take a look at the phone under AppleCare. So that's good. Hopefully the problems will go away, and that'll be the end of it, and I'll have a nice new function-y case. So I'm good there. They got me in on time, more or less, and got it taken care of. Again, always good. While I was there, as you know, a while back, I bought an iPad Pro, and you have a set period of time with which is like the phone in warranty period, which is 90 days, to get AppleCare Plus put on it if you want to. And I decided, because of the iPad Pro being more expensive and
Last couple have had broken screens. I thought I'll just go ahead and get the iPad, the AppleCare Plus on it while I'm there. I had the thing in case they wanted to look at it and see that it wasn't broken. And they punched it into the computer, and it came back and said that it was not eligible for AppleCare Plus and that it was outside the window. And I'm like, no, I've had it less than 90 days. And he said, oh, it's 60 days. I'm like, what do you mean it's 60 days? Like, no, it's 60 days. When did you buy it? And I said, mid to late June. And he, and it's mid to late August now. And he goes, well, if it's... Look, I can't do anything about it here at the store, but quite often, if you call them up on the phone and ask to put AppleCare on there, and it's just a few days out of date, they can do it. We can get them on the phone right now. The store is very busy and noisy, and I thought, well, I can just call them when I get home. Maybe I should have done it in the store so that I could have handed it to the Apple Store employee so that he could have talked to them, although it probably would not have. But I called AppleCare, and I talked with him, and, talked to AJ, and he was very helpful, and, he tried to be very helpful. Well, he wasn't at all helpful because, no, it's 60 days, and the 90 days is the warranty. We only have 60 days to purchase the AppleCare Plus. I bought the iPad on June 16th, therefore August 16th or 15th was the last day that it was eligible to purchase AppleCare Plus, and you, basically. So, not actually happy. I mean, it's one thing to have a rule, and I didn't know it, and I got it wrong, and that's my mistake, and I'm fine with that. And if the guy at Apple Store had said that, tough, sorry, I can't help, then that would be one thing. But he didn't. He said sometimes they can do it, which means it's in their discretion. And I have seen people at Apple stores, the Apple geniuses and the employees, they have leeway to make customers happy. They have the ability to stretch things and fix things that they don't have to fix to keep the customer happy. They can do that. You want to be playing straight with them, but they can do that. And I was playing it straight here. I told him exactly what happened, how I bought it, why I bought it, when I bought it. I didn't tell him my house was run into by a car. Maybe I should have told him that. I don't know. But, he came back and said, no. And I'm a little miffed that I wasted my time. That's all on that one. So I don't have AppleCare Plus on my iPad Pro. So hopefully it doesn't break. Or I don't break it. That's more like it. Anyway, do remember, like, comment, subscribe, and we will talk to you next time on Tedium Unlimited. I should have a graphic, the Tedium. Flashing. I think flashing would be good. What do you think? Maybe red, flashing, black text, maybe some stars? That would be awesome.